All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? Let's back to what we want to do, dog. What is this? 50,000 subs. I got 50,000 subs now. That's what's up. 50 bitches. 50 bitches. There you go. Thanks, man. I didn't know. Let me look over here. Yeah. 50K. 50K. So, because for real, y'all been here the whole time, dog. I was having fun at 48. I have fun at 60. We had fun at 30. We had fun at 20. We was not having fun at 10. We was working like a slave at 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60. But now that we got 50, dog, let me say something to you, dog. Twitter. Wait for everybody to come into the chat, man. Salute Fannon. I have to say this. You have taught me so much over the past 5 months. Your channel ranks the highest in terms of just pure rational analysis of any subject, especially boxing. Thanks. Thumbs up. Thank you very, very much, man. I appreciate that a lot, man. Always listening, man. Means a lot to see you at 50. Thanks, man. If it means a lot to you, then it means a lot to me. Thank you very, very much, dog. I appreciate it. I really do. And thank you guys for supporting over the time. Oh, the Cash App is at Fannon Boxing. It's right there. You should see it on the screen. At Fannon Boxing. Mr. T King Texas says, salute Fannon the Don from Garland, Texas. Savage. Yes, sir. Well, let's talk about the Savage. The Cash App D-Rock is right there. It says, actually, I put Instagram, but it's Cash App. Just changed it to the $sign that's on the Instagram. I forgot. I changed that to Instagram. Yeah, because I didn't want to be sweating people for money, dog. It's Christmas time. You know what I mean? It's Christmas time. I know y'all got shit to spend your money on, man. It's all good, man. Y'all support me on my videos. You guys come holler at me on the regular. Hey, I really, 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 really appreciate it, man. B Mike B, I'm cheap, but donate. But still love listening. Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Hey, that's all right, dude. Look, not everybody's got a lot of money, man. And you guys collectively definitely, you know, are a blessing to me, man. A true, true blessing. And, you know, but it does make me want to talk a little shit because more important than the 50,000 subscribers was the almost 2 million views this month on the channel. Close to getting to 2 million views on the channel in a month. That, my friend, I think speaks volumes about the message and about, you know, what we trying to do in the sport of boxing, man. There's a lot of people because, dude, I'm just talking about black boxing. I'm supporting black boxing. I have really pulled back the breadth of the boxing that I talk about, you know, like, but I love all kind of boxing. And if you go to the Instagram page, we've got like fantasy fights up there where these are really the fights that I would love to see. They're truly what I love the most about boxing. So, you know, just to prove that I have white Mexican friends and Filipino friends, you know how they do black folk, like just to prove I'm not racist. Let me tell you about all my black friends. So just to prove that I'm not racist, let me share you all my fantasy fight videos. like Salvador Sanchez versus Manny Pacquiao that we put out there last night. We also put out there Tyson Fury versus Andrew Galata for who's the greatest cheater between the two of them. Now, see, interestingly enough, in that Fannon fights, you will also see a picture of the same referee in both fights. So what people may not have got, the comedy in that whole video was that the winner, the ref already said who the winner was. Because back in the day, the ref used to be the judge, right? So then later on, they put the 3 judges at the side because they figured that excuse me one second. Allergies have been getting much better. Not nearly the sniffling. See, yeah, I ain't racist, I'm black, but that's the truth, though. See, I can say that I'm not racist because I'm not black because I believe that's the truth. Oh, Leon Robinson says, I just got accepted into law school, GOAT, grind time. Leon, let me tell you what you do right the fuck now. You are going to law school. The first thing that you do is you figure out legal writing. Take your ass and go get you a book on legal writing and begin studying that motherfucker before you touch your first year so you can save your ass a lot of fucking problems, okay? Let me get right to it. In undergrad, you write differently than you do in law school. Your first year of law school is going to be a bitch. And what it is you're going to take all of the basics, just like undergrad, but you take all of the basic subjects. But key to you being able to get the grades you want to get is for you to be able to write clearly, succinctly, and in citing references in the format that is acceptable in the legal profession. And that, my friend, is a course in legal writing. Run your ass to go get you a legal writing book immediately. Like, I always wait till somebody tells me, oh, go ahead, what do I got to do? Take your ass and learn how to write really, really fucking fast. Okay? Learn how to present the argument of other people exactly as they are saying quickly. Okay? It's not the argument. It's the writing is key to the argument. Congratulations, man. Now go out there and go do good things, man. Like make a lot of money for your family. I'm really happy for you, man. Since when did you become pro LDBC? You used to be neutral. First of all, dog, that is probably the dumbest statement I've ever heard in my life. I have never been neutral a day in my life. I think neutral is horseshit. You've never heard me be neutral. I give my opinion. I look at the facts. I have my own code of ethics, and I look at the facts. I look at the rules, and then I make my decisions. And then I tell you, I'm not a fucking coward. Like you people that pretend to be neutral. How can you be neutral? You ain't neutral till you dead. Okay? You got a brain, use it. What do you think? Make a fucking argument. Why? Okay? That's what I just told that man to do. Go get yourself legal writing and learn how to, before you get there, learn how to write, how they want you to write. Because there's already a bunch of other law students coming in your first year that already, they got lawyers as daddies, lawyers as brothers and girlfriends. Their whole family might have a law firm, and they've been doing this shit. They understand this shit since they're kids, and you got to figure it out, and you better figure that shit out before you get there. And the key is the writing. The key is the writing. I'm telling you, I'm just giving you the key. If you can outwrite them, you can amateur. Because when I went to law school, they gave you these little blue books, right? Little blue books. And they would say, here's your pen, and here's your blue book. Now write. So if you didn't have perfect fucking penmanship, if you didn't have perfect fucking punctuation, if you didn't know your fucking cases, if you didn't know how to cite, if you didn't go issue, rule, application, conclusion, if you put a fucking may when there should be a shall, nigga, you losing. Okay, so, yeah, dog, get ready. Okay, get ready. Yeah, make a fucking decision, you punk. Sorry about that, dog. You got to have, look, I may not agree with what somebody says, but at least they tell me what they say. At least you're standing behind something. You're not telling me to be neutral about something I'm not neutral about. I'm not neutral about the mistreatment of black fighters. I'm not neutral about that. I'm not who could be neutral about that, who is black. Now, as far as pro LDBC, I don't even know what the fuck that means. What does that mean? You just used LDBC like it was the word black. At the same time, you used to be pro-black. I thought you were neutral. No, you ain't never heard me be neutral. Not a day, ever, never. Let me tell you something. Ain't my worst troll could never accuse me of being neutral. What? Who has ever accused me of that? I think neutral people are the worst thing on the planet. Make your damn decision and stop being neutral and letting somebody mistreat the other person. Don't be neutral about it. If it affects you, don't be neutral. It affects me. It affects me. If you will not give Gary Russell Jr. a fight, then I don't get to see Gary Russell Jr. fight. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. I want what I want. I have no problem saying what I want. And am I pro-black? Absolutely, I'm pro-black. Why wouldn't I not be? I'm black. Do you not see? What am I supposed to be? It's just so stupid. Literally, what else? Why would I not be? Am I pro-air? Yes. Am I pro-water? Yes. You use these corny ass phrases. Are you pro-life? Of course I am. Do I think you should be able to end it for whatever reason? Because you want whatever? No. Of course I'm pro-life. I'm alive, ain't I? But see, you guys just want to use these buzzwords so you can try to skip out of what you mean. You want to call me a nigga and you can't. So you keep trying to find other kind of ways to phrase it in different ways where you can dog whistle your ass around here. Get the fuck out. Lions Den Boxing Community is a hashtag owned by 78 Sports TV that encompasses many different channels that use that as a common symbol by which to communicate with one another. Fuck are you talking about? Am I pro that? Yes. Absolutely, I am pro black content creators and the consumers of black content to work with one another to provide good content and good communication with one another. I am gigantically pro that. It's just stupid. If you're going to talk to me, leave the cliches by the side. Leave them over there. Because I am literal person. What you say, I take what you say literally. If you joked around about trying to hurt me, I would not be joking around. I would say, even if you said it laughing, ha 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 ha, it seemed like it was a joke. No, dog, the words came out your mouth. That's what you said. I'm going to treat it like that's what you said, and I am going to be cautious in that manner. Because I'm not playing games. I am going to look down the line. What you say, I believe that you believe what you say. And let me tell you, when you say something that I don't believe that you believe, I'm going to tell you. So Deontay Wilder is a perfect example. Deontay Wilder is one of the greatest fighters we have seen in this century, easy. One of the greatest fighters we've seen this century, easy. But you are trying to, by not anything objective, pure subjectivity, pure horse shit, you claim he's a bum. But yet, the guy that cheated him out of a win becomes Fighter of the Year and is touted as one of the greatest champions ever. And Teddy Atlas screams to Anthony Joshua, do not take the Deontay Wilder fight, even in defeat. He is ducking that man right now, in court right now, trying to get out of that fight that you guys lie and say is so easy. And do you know why I say that he's one of the greatest fighters of this century? Easy. Is because of what that means. There are two things that lead to athletic success. And then there are the actual accomplishments that prove you were successful. Got it? There are the things that you see that you believe will make somebody successful. And then there are the actual metrics you use to determine whether or not they were successful. That is analytics. That is analysis. That is how you determine something, not your horse shit about wild windmills and you don't like his style and look how wide his feet is and look how he got that ring in his nose and he don't sound like he's from Britain and all that bullshit. That ain't numbers, dog. Those ain't numbers, homie. And the only reason that money talks and bullshit walks is because money is numbers. That's it. Units of measure. That's it. That's what money is. It's a unit of measure given to you from the source, which is the federal government, combination of the Treasury and the Federal Reserve. They give you units of measure called dollars. The actual paper is just paper. It's what it represents with the seal. It's just a unit of measure. Units of measure walk. Units of measure talk. Bullshit walk. So let's look at the metrics. And I'm with you, Mass Arms in the building, man. Much love, man, in that chat. The fuck is my thing? Like I told you, this is Cookage Week. Here it is, dog. And I don't care what it is. Sports is sports. So let me walk you guys through using syllogisms and Venn diagrams of my mind. All boxers are sportsmen. And all boxers are sportsmen or women. Sports people. That's what they are. They all fall within the same bucket, right? Like doctors. You might have a gynecologist. You might have, I ain't gonna talk about your mama. You can have a gynecologist, you can have a radiologist, you can have a bone doctor, you can have a podiatrist, you have all kind of doctors for every kind of specialty. You got a doctor. Lawyers, that's a profession, but you got all kind of specialists. You got people that do real estate. You've got people that do wills and trust. You got people that do work with investment banking and transactions. You have people that do all kind of stuff, criminal law, right? Civil litigation, federal practices. There's all kind of things that people do underneath the broad bucket called lawyer. Are you with me, dummies? Because some of you dummies is just dummies. You tell me it takes me too long to get to my point, but yet I give it to you in 5 seconds. Then I give it to you before you get to the video in the title. Then I give it to you in 15 seconds in the intro. Then I give it to you in about 6 minutes, 6 to 8 minutes in the body. And then I sum it up for you in about 30. But yet you still don't get the fucking point. I don't think you're listening. I just don't think you're listening. But anyway, TBE is legend. TBE is TBE legend. Says shout out Fannon all the way from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And let me tell you why he is so cold. And why Naseem Richardson said it. I'm saying what Naseem Richardson said. Naseem Richardson is a Hall of Fame trainer. Believe it. And this is what Naseem Richardson said about Deontay Wilder. He said he must be one of the greatest talents ever, having accomplished what he accomplished with the skill set that he has. Now, you dummies want to always look at what somebody says just in the way that works for you. But you don't flip it over and look at it in a way that it can work for the other person. So you may say, oh, Naseem Richardson just insulted Deontay Wilder. No, he didn't. He called him one of the greatest athletes that he'd ever seen. And he said that he's amazed with him. That's what he said. Then he said, considering the skill set, Now, what is it to being an athlete? We learn this, dummies, in about, when did I learn this? 7th grade. Let me tell you what happened to me in 7th grade. When I first walked onto into the field of athletics, and we all have experienced this when you walk into the field of athletics. Right? You realize you stand next to little Tommy, you stand next to little Isaiah, and you run from here to there. And you notice that little Tommy gets there way faster than you did. And you're like, how did he do that? And then little Isaiah just says, hey man, little Tommy got them wheels. Little Tommy got them wheels. Man, he outruns everybody. I mean, dog, ain't no biggie. Don't you know that's the fastest kid in Texas? But he's only 7. Or he's only 13. What? Oh, man, come on. His daddy is this. His daddy is that. Don't you know his daddy used to be a wide receiver for the NFL? I mean, hell, dude, you're not outrunning that dude. Fuck out of here. That dude is gifted. Gifted. He has a knack for running. A knack for running. There's a guy named Jack Sock, who is an American tennis player, who is one of the best American tennis players that we have, but is one of the laziest motherfuckers on the planet, from what I understand. He looks fat. He looks sloppy, but he will whoop your ass on that tennis court without a doubt. You know why? Because he has talent pouring out of his fucking eye sockets. He plays tennis easily. They don't have to teach him a lot of that shit. He just knows, man, you way over there. I'm just going to drop this shit right over the net on your ass. Whoop. And he'll just drop shot your ass from way up at some crazy fucking angle because he has talent. Roger Federer has talent. Deontay Wilder has massive amounts of talent. That's what he has. And guess what? Talent matters. Talent matters. And you all keep wanting to run and talk about skills. Oh, the skills. Fuck you and your skills. Little Tommy is going to blow your ass out. Because little Tommy is what you do not have. Explosive. Do you know how hard it is to master being explosive in sports? Do you know that is the main thing in all of sports is your explosiveness? You're gone. Boop, you're gone. It's the first step. It's the boop, you're gone. If you got a running back, that's why they run the 40-yard dash and not the 60-yard dash or the 80-yard dash in football, because they don't care about your top speed. They care about how quick you get to it. Boop, you're there. Now, let me ask you a question. How fast is Deontay Wilder's explosion? It's otherworldly. He literally lights your whole shit up. Same thing as Gervonta Davis. Why did Gervonta Davis beat Leo Santa Cruz? Because he's explosive. Have you ever seen that little dude run up a hill? Go look it up. It is like, I don't even know what to say it looked like the first time I saw Gervonta Davis run up a hill. I'm like, this nigga just ran a 4.340 up a hill. He's like, for real, like 4.3 is an exaggeration, but I'm saying like for real. I think up a hill, I am positive that he can run a 4.840 up a hill. I am sure of it. Zoom. I mean, his shit was so raw that I was like, no, dude. And that's what y'all don't like. He has no and that's why I'm looking like that's athletics and that's not boxing. See, the skill set that you then take to boxing, You can only be as good as your capacity. It's just the truth. You're only as good as your capacity. You cannot. Bomac has an athlete. Terrence Crawford is explosive. Majorly explosive. Like, if you, from here to here, from dead start relax to full explosive punch in your motherfucking mouth, Terrence Crawford is like lightning. Pow! You slipped, pow! You gone. Dog. Not everybody has that, man. Not everybody has that. And when people have that, people don't want to fight that. Because you can't plan for that. You can't plan for it, man. Why you think Tyson Fury had gloves all the way out his hands? Fuck all the part. Let's, for a second, just ignore the fact that Tyson Fury was just cheating, right? And ask, why does this man have his glove half off his hand, flipping a plastic bag at Deontay Wilder from halfway across the ring? Because he doesn't want Deontay Wilder anywhere near him. And you saw what happened. Tired, having gotten punched for taking punches for what? 40 minutes? He still has enough power to light you up, which is why Mark Breland needed to get the fuck out of Dodge forever. Mark Breland was wrong to stop that fight for the reason that Deontay Wilder said. I can still win this fight, and you know it. Why? I was not hurt. I was dizzy. I was actually starting to feel better. His fat ass was starting to tire. I was feeling better. I had another 5 rounds to weather this. If I could have weathered it for another 3 rounds and his fat ass got tired and I got lucky, I could have knocked that motherfucker to kingdom come. And you stole it from me, Mark. And it was my decision. I know he has those skills. I see what he can do. I've been in the ring with him, and I told you not to do it. And you did it anyway. Your ass is fired. Good fucking bye. And now Tyson Fury want to act like he going to run off and take the belt with him. And you got Ring Magazine, ESPN, and all these other people acting like Tyson Fury did not literally get to put to sleep in the first fight. They want to act like that didn't happen. But somehow don't connect that Nestea fucking plunge, the Nestea plunge that Tyson Fury took, to Deontay Wilder's frustration that Mark Breland would stop the fight in the 7th when that Nestea plunge took place in the 12th in the last fight. See, you can most definitely do a post-mortem on everything. And that's what's happened to Tyson Fury for the last year. And I'm going to explain what that is, so that you know why we keep going over this and over this and over this and over this. And why you're losing, because we keep going over this and over this and over this and over this. And there's nothing wrong with doing it, and I can prove it. You con artists. This is for your boy, Skeletor. Skeletor. Ugly as a monkey's ass. Not even worthy of speaking your name, dog. Ugly as a monkey's ass. Let's prove it. There is something called a post-mortem. Has anybody ever heard of a post-mortem? I don't see the comments coming through. Ugly as a monkey's ass, Tay-Tay. Just for real. Ugly as a monkey's ass. And see, the bad thing about being real yellow and ugly as a monkey's ass is it's real hard for you to get some coochie. See, when you're real dark and your grill is fucked, at least women will be like, damn, his skin look good. You know what I mean? Like, they ain't worried about that shit. They still get some. But ugly ass albinos, fuck no. Nigga, they don't get no coochie. That you ain't got to have welfare projects to get ugly ass albinos pussy. That's just what it is, dog. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like when you yellow, your shit got to be straight because you can see everything in the light. You know what I'm saying? Like real dark skinned people. And this is why I think motherfuckers be hating on dark skinned people, because this is the truth. And I'm saying this from a more lightly complected black man. You don't see every fucking, you see this shit right here? Where? Right here? See that shit? Nigga, I got bit by a fucking bug. Look how ugly that shit look. Marks all on my shit. I had to turn the camera this way because I'm vain. Like, damn. Nigga, I got, man, because that shit shows up. You know what I'm saying? Man, you get a hair bump and your shit is pure black. Man, you don't see that shit. That shit just look like pure black with a little doop on top of it. And that's all that is. And I'm just telling you, dog, from a light-skinned dude's don't believe the hype, dog. Like, that light-skinned dudes really get it. You have to be an exceptionally nice-looking light-skinned dude to get women. Or you got to have some game. You got to have a mouthpiece. You got to have some money. You got to have something. You know what I'm saying? But yellow and ugly, nigga, no combination, nigga. That's why I was like... Anyway, I'm just talking really bad about your home, dog. But, man, come on, man. Leave me alone, dog. Nah, dog, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what it's always about. It's always about being worth something to somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's all about being worth something to somebody. If somebody's going to be around you, it's going to be because they want to be around you. And if you something that adds something to their life of value, then they're going to want to be around you, and your opportunity to do little things like have sex or little things like that, you know, that shit'll just come to you. You know what I mean? Have a job with somebody, you know, having people wanting to work with you. See, if you're a nice guy, this is something I'm going to tell you about my daddy, man. I told y'all something about my daddy. I'm going to tell something about my daddy today too. That dude is one of the most charismatic people that you will ever meet in your life. Everybody likes him because he's absolutely always pleasant to be around, even if he's mean as shit when he leaves. But if you're around him, dog, you're going to feel like you are just part of the whole show. You know what I'm saying? It is absolutely no alpha worried about, you're crazy. Nigga, alphas will kill motherfuckers over bitches. What? Zan Colder, you don't understand what an alpha is. Alphas, yeah, I'll get back to the postmortem analysis. Alphas only care about bitches. That's it. And if you come near theirs, they're going to hurt you. What do you think it's about? It's about spreading yourself, maximizing yourself to the fullest. Your genetics, your territory, all of that. That's what those alpha men want to do. Those alpha men are very protective of their women. Okay? Please. Trust me. They are very protective of it. It is an ego thing. Okay? It's an ego thing. And that's why there's whole women that know that's called a trophy wife. My wife is better than your wife. Look at her. Look at yours. What does that say about me? Okay? Zan Golder, you're wrong. If you don't care, you're not going to be an alpha. You're dumb, Zan Golder. Go away. You're talking that dumb shit. Goodbye. You're blocked. I have no time for children around here, okay? I have no time for children. Okay? Alpha males are leaders. That's what they mean. That's what that means. You're a leader. You're the first. You have no alpha without a beta. Okay? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, z, omicron, pi, rho, tau, epsilon, sigma, epsilon, phi, chi, psi. Never be omega. Nigga, don't tell me nothing about no alpha when you don't know the alphabet. Kappa, alpha, psi, nigga. I know exactly what the Greek alphabet is. Alpha is 1 of 26. How can you be one of 26 and not care about the other 25? Alpha, beta, gamma, O, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota. Kappa alpha psi to the day I die. Lambda mu nu, z omicron pi. I take the rho, the sigma, the tau, the epsilon, phi psi. Nigga, never be omega. You don't even know the alphabet, dog. Don't talk about alpha and beta if you don't know what comes after it. You just talking out the side of your neck like a kid. The leader cares about the pack. The pack, there is no leader without the pack. The pack can kill the leader at any time. Any time. At any time. Do you think that an alpha wolf cannot get eaten by a pack? It can. Its own pack. You're stupid. Stop with the corny shit. That's that shit they teach you to make dumb decisions. Alpha is a number. It means one. When you say one doesn't care about anything else, then you don't understand what alpha is. What you mean is an arrogant, selfish nigga. That's what you mean. When you say alpha, you mean somebody that is selfish and self-centered, conceited, and only cares about themselves. That is not alpha. That is outcast. That is Scar. That is not Mufasa. Mufasa cared about everybody. The outcast cared about himself. The only thing they got fucked up in that movie is the hair, is the color of the hair. Scar's hair should have been red, blondish, and Mufasa should have been black because blacks were the dominant lions according to the genealogy of lions. Now, leave me alone. Being the dominant male does not mean, first of all, it's not even really the dominant male. Because you can't dominate a pack. It's the most influential male. It's the male that you listen to and the male that they say, where should we go? They are typically the ones with the most experience and the oldest because they have been around the territory before. They are still big and strong enough to defend. They are familiar with the territory and the sources of food. They are able to kill and do certain things that the women cannot do because of their size. Please do not come around me with your $2 cliches. How does this relate to boxing? Because I say it does, Diego. I'm the alpha in this bitch right now. So let me use you as an example. This is about boxing because I say it's about boxing. See? Now, did I throw everybody out of the chat? Because if there was nobody here, I would just be talking to this camera. But anyway, Don Shada. Oh, yes, my bad, man. He said, happy holiday to you, Fannon. Showing my love to my brother. F Fury and his supporters. Did you see Drew's video with Deontay's brother? Wrench me and send me a link, and I'll send a link. You're the man. All right, Don Shada. You actually spoke enough code to get a wrench, and that's very, very rare. Trust me. That is very, very rare, Don Shada 24. Matter of fact, email me because that would have been a good tactic. I can't give you that because I can't give it to you because I really don't give a lot of wrenches out anymore. But Don Shada, I think I will give you a wrench, man. But that's okay. I know how to get to Drew's channel. Fannon need an extra channel just for this type of info? Nah, we'll give it here. Because, see, this type of information gets rid of trolls. See, this is troll proof. Number one, if you're a bot, you're going to have to say something off subject, and I'll see it. I clean house with videos like this. See, I want to know who really, like, there's 667 people in here that I see. And see, now I know that that's reliably the reach of this live stream. About 700 people. If I get extreme and there's a lot of people that want to hate on me, it'll get to 1,000. It might get to 1,100. So I feel good when I'm around 668. I like this. If the number flies to 900, then there's a bunch of people I don't want to talk to in here. And that's just for real, dog. Like, I don't know what y'all think this is. This is not fucking boxing scene, okay? I'm saying this is not boxing scene. Although I would like to say I get more views than any author on boxing scene. I was very insulted when somebody told me that boxing scene, that there was a boxing writer on boxing scene that was from a bigger website than me. I was like, man, that shit is insulting. Man, I like you. Hey, I like you, dude, but that was an insult, man. That was a sneak diss, man. I didn't appreciate that, man. My network is way bigger than boxing scene's network. Way bigger. It's not even close. Would you like me to prove it? Tell me I'm lying. That my website ain't bigger. That where you are right now is not bigger than boxing scene. Hey, Addie Mac, dude, stop talking Wilder. You're a PBC plant, man. Dude, PBC don't fuck with me. You kidding me? Do you hear all the shit that I've said bad about the PBC? You kidding me? Every time I compliment the PBC, I insult the PBC. See, you mean black person. I'm a black person's plant. You don't mean PBC. Like you don't mean LDBC. You mean niggas. That's what you mean. Say what you mean. Okay? Cut to the chase. You don't mean, you're looking for a way to say it, but you can't say it. So you just call the whole group it and label that whole group it without saying it. You make the whole group a dog whistle for the word nigga. That's what you're doing. When somebody, I don't understand, when somebody's fucking crying like a baby, fucking crybaby. Fucking, you are a crybaby, man. Big ass crybaby, man. And I don't mean like me. Because, yeah, I cried. Trust me. Because when I explain to you a near-death experience of a loved one, and I have to draw that back into my mind, it makes me emotional. Okay? And I have to catch myself. Because it's very painful. But most importantly, I'm so very happy. Okay? Trust me, dog. I got a check one day for $20,000, just about $20,000. And I fucking cried like a baby. You know why? Because I had $1.25 to my fucking name. And the shit came through and I saw it was $15,000. I saw a $15,000 check. Nigga, I bust into fucking tears. You know why? Because I got a wife. And I got a little baby son. And I got a daughter. And I'm scared to death about how I'm going to feed them. So I cried like a fucking baby when I got that money. And I sat fuck down and gave a fucking check, transferred that shit right into my wife's account. Fuck you niggas that want to make fun of people for crying. Acting like you don't. It is a bodily function. It's like making fun of somebody that peed. Oh, you remember when you were in sixth grade? No, not sixth grade. When I was a kid in our grade school, we used to have these toilets, but there was just toilets. There was nothing, there was no door to the toilet. So I was a little black kid in an all-white school, and in order to use the bathroom, to go number 2, I had to sit down on a toilet and take a dump in front of a bunch of people that call me nigga all day. Okay? If you ever have to do that in your life, dog, you will sit down at an early age and realize, fuck all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all y'all. You're going to make fun of me one way or the other, so I might as well tell you what I think. And it is what you little, but that's the problem with that Coons. He said the greatest troll, into your wife's account. Yes, exactly, into my wife's account. Do you know why I gave it to my wife? Because I wasn't living with her dumbass, and she was paying the bills of my son and my daughter. What? You think I'm supposed to put it in mine? You bitch. See, you are not a man. You are not a man. Yes, I gave the money to the woman that takes care of my son and my daughter. Are you crazy? Of course I did. And I took enough money for me to eat. How about that? Because that's what you're supposed to do when you're a grown-ass man. You are a fucking kid, okay? You all are children. And I don't want to keep talking like you are not. You are children. No, you pay, man, stop. Y'all need to stop. I ain't into you, what you do with your kids or what you do with your wife. I'm telling you that people can cry tears of joy. It just so happens that my joy is my daughter and my joy is my son. There's nothing in this world that I love more and that I want to be around more than my daughter and my son. And I will do anything necessary to ensure that I can do that. Nothing else matters to me. Other things used to matter to me, but they no longer matter to me because I almost lost what mattered most to me. So I had an opportunity to reprioritize. And when I was a child, I did things that a child did. And then when I became a man, I became a man. And I do what men do. Alpha means one. You take care of the pack. Men are supposed to take care of their people. That is why you have the muscles. That is why you have the energy. It is not there to twiddle your thumbs and sip on lean. It is to take care of your business, son. And if you don't like it, leave the channel. I'm not interested in talking to children. Come back when you are grown. I know you cry, without a doubt. I know it. Because you have to. It is a necessary bodily function. Stop. You pee, you poop, you cry, you laugh. You do all of those things because you're human. Stop acting as if you're not. That's why I tried to tell you yesterday. If you sit with grown men and behave like a child, they will immediately know that you are a child. Because you are not honest enough to admit what everybody knows. You go into that little room to take a dump. And when you use the bathroom, I either heard the hand wash or not. If there's no water, you're nasty. Get back in there and wash it. It's like getting angry and happy. It's normal. It's very normal. And in fact, it's not normal not to do it. It's not normal not to have the capacity to do it. But anyway, for now, where you one talking about lean? I'm from the United States of America, where people tell me that they no longer put Everclear in drinks. They put lean in drinks. I'm around a lot of young folk, dog. I'm around a lot. I'm around a lot of young folk, okay? It's just what it is. That's the nature of being a father. That's the nature of just being, a man that made it to 50. Because a whole lot of the people that are the same age as me are dead. or in jail. I was born in Wichita, Kansas, 1969. In the hood, as you would call it. In the hood. Because my parents weren't making money like that at the time, in 1969. So in 1969, I was in the hood. From age 0 to about age 3. Do you know how many of the people are dead that were born in the same hospital as me, in the same unit, that lived on the same side of town in Wichita, Kansas? There are a lot of them dead. Cousins. I got cousins in Wichita, Kansas. Take you off the planet. They will take you off the planet. They face it as fucking planet. Hard lives. Hard lives. And I'm 51 years old, blessed enough to talk to you. And do you know why that is? It's because I didn't make the same decisions, luckily, or have the same fate as other people. But I'm not dead. I'm not in jail. I'm a college graduate. Only thing that is important about that is means I can put food on my kids' tables. And that's what's most important. And when Errol Spence Jr. had that car accident, everything that he talked about, what that is hitting rock bottom. That's called hitting rock bottom. It's called a midlife crisis. It's called whatever. He had a mid-career crisis. It's called the ebb and flow of life. Ebbs and it flows. Sometimes it's tough and you got to grind. Sometimes it's really great and you got to make sure you don't fly too high. When you're making a lot of money, you can't, it's like shit. You think that shit's going to go forever. Then here it comes. There's that ebb. There's that ebb. You know what I mean? So you got to prepare for the ebbs and flows of life, which is why when people say somebody wins a boxing championship in their first 15 fights, it's like, dude, or in the first 5 fights, you just put them in an ebb. You just put them in a flow. Right away, you put them in a flow. Over time, you'll see. Like, what happens with Lomachenko now? That he lost to Teofimo Lopez. And then he spoke the truth and they bumped him down a spot on the pound for pound list. Did you guys notice that? Influenced by great parents? No. Well, yes and no. I've been influenced by a lot of great people. A lot of great people. I've been around a lot of great people. Some you've heard of, some you've not heard of. But a lot of great people. And most of them, 99.9% of them, were older than me. And had already been through what I had been through. It's kind of a cheat. People have already been through what you've been through. Now, you don't necessarily have to just agree with what they say and do what they tell you. But the truth of the matter is you'd be better off listening. Because even when you listen, if you don't want to hear it, I'm telling you, 5-10 years later, you might be in a circumstance and that thought will just come to your mind. And you will remember that moment. And you will remember that thing that person told you. And you will be better prepared now because you heard it. Not just because you believed it, not because you understood it, but because you heard it. And I can explain this concept to you. There's a reason why. See, I shouldn't pay y'all no money, but I'm going to pay y'all some money. Okay? I'm going to pay y'all some money. There's a reason why I have a YouTube channel and why the YouTube channel is specifically focused on boxing. But I'm going to talk about the YouTube channel. This channel right here. Okay? And how valuable it is. And why it's so valuable. And why I refused to actually buy a channel from somebody. And let me tell you, it's from about 50 years of life experience in information technology. And I'm telling you, this is television right here. This is television right here. There's a guy named Heyman Planet. He's on Twitter. Love his Twitter. Very supportive of the PBC. Heyman's Planet. And he said to me on Twitter, because I was upset. I'm telling you, I was upset. Because there was an article written in Boxing Scene about a lawsuit that's been filed against MTK Global and Oscar De La Hoya. And when Jake Donovan put that article up, I thought to myself, why is he doing this? Because what it said, it doesn't matter to me. But I was like, why is he doing this? Boxing Scene is not supposed to be doing that. I don't expect that article out of Boxing Scene. It is like it's like a pink elephant just ran through the room. Why are they talking about in such great detail Rico and all this other shit? Right? Y'all saw the article. I've not done it. There's a reason I didn't do a video about it. And I'll tell you the reason why I didn't do a video about it. And I will keep it boxing. I'll bring it to boxing, right? But I'll teach you at the same time, or at least I'll go through it at the same time. So, I went and read the court case. Shout out to my man, Michael, who always sends me the case. And I read the case. I read the complaint, that came from JoJo Diaz's manager. JoJo Diaz is suing MTK Global. He's suing Oscar De La Hoya for basically interference with his contract, right? But he threw MTK Global on there, and they start talking about a lot of stuff that I talked about when I was talking about Tyson Fury. And I was like, why would you do this? So I read the case. And do you know what the case is? The case is against Oscar De La Hoya and has almost nothing to do with MTK Global. That's Oscar De La Hoya. They're accusing him of violations of the Muhammad Ali Act, which is the barrier between the promoter and the manager. MTK Global is not a manager. They're just saying that MTK Global is an unlicensed manager in the state of California. I don't know whether that's true or not true. But the violation of the Ali Act, from what I can see, would be Oscar De La Hoya cutting one manager out and sending Oscar De La Hoya and sending JoJo Diaz to another one. That seems like Oscar De La Hoya playing games. That doesn't sound, that's the only person in that whole damn thing that I read that I was like, oh, this shit centers on Oscar De La Hoya. Because all the things that they mentioned about MTK Global, none of it had anything to do with the relief that they sought. So I was like, hold on. Why are you saying all this? Like, if it's true, it's true. But why are you telling me this? See, I already knew everything that they said because I had already talked about it. But I wanted to know why they gave a fuck about it. What they're doing is they're trying to protect Oscar De La Hoya. They're trying to protect Oscar De La Hoya and not put out that Oscar De La Hoya violated the Muhammad Ali Act because he is acting as both the promoter of JoJo Diaz and the manager of JoJo Diaz. And Oscar De La Hoya just had a shitload of problems with Canelo Alvarez and playing with Canelo Alvarez's contract. So when Oscar De La Hoya is back-to-back playing with fighters, one was JoJo Diaz and the other one is Canelo Alvarez, why are you telling me about somebody that lives in Dubai when you're not even asking for the person that lives there to do anything? Whether they're guilty or not doesn't even matter. It has nothing to do with the money you're asking for. The money you're asking for is from Oscar De La Hoya for violations of the Muhammad Ali Act and punitive remedies. That's what it was about. However, it's not unreasonable for the manager to say it because why? Because MTK Global got a lot of money. It's called deep pockets. You always want to sue the person with the most money. So you tie in Oscar De La Hoya, you tie in MTK Global, you tie in anybody you can tie in. Now, if Heredia gets away with it, if he does that and it works in a court of law, cool. But for Boxing Scene to skip that lead, again, they buried the lead. You buried the lead. The most important, just like you buried the lead in the last thing. They buried the lead with Canelo because in Canelo's situation, they didn't say anything. They only talked about breach of contract. They didn't talk about fraud. They didn't talk about fraud. They didn't talk about negligent interference with a contract, intentional negligence. They didn't talk about half the damn charges. All they talked about was what? They talked about some procedural issue related to whether or not it was going to go to arbitration or whether or not it was going to go or whether it was going to stay in federal court or whether it was going to go to state court. That's the only thing that they talked about. They talked about the procedure. But now they're talking about the substance when it comes to Jojo Diaz, but they're not talking about the substance as it relates to Oscar De La Hoya. They're talking about the substance as it relates to the deep pockets. These people are tricky dick. But anyway, the reason that I brought it up was that he said Heyman's Planet, and I like him a lot. Yeah, I'm triggered. You triggered me. By smiling, it triggered the fuck out of my life. Bah. Fannon, I sent you the article because I was surprised they covered it. You were the first person I heard talk about it. I meant no disrespect to you. No, Ari, you didn't show me any disrespect at all. This is no matter about respecting me. You don't got to respect me. I'm not asking for shine. I'm not. I'm saying, why are you covering it? Now, Heyman, the thing about Heyman is this. When you say, and I'm not dissing the dude or female because I don't know what it is or what, just Heyman's Planet, right? It's funny to me, and I love the guy. I love what the guy's doing. I don't mean this in any bad way at all. Really, really and truly, I do not. I just thought it was interesting because people act as if these writers on Boxing Scene are so influential. But then I checked my numbers and I checked their numbers and I was like, there's no way they're more influential. It's like when you look at the numbers, no way. And this is why I mean this. I am not the biggest boxing channel. I'm not. Okay? I'm not. I got 50,000 subs. My numbers do good, right? Very good numbers for boxing. Not just okay. I'll be honest, they do very good numbers for a boxing channel. However, Boxing Ego's numbers are bigger than mine. I don't look a lot, but pretty sure his is bigger. Blue Blood gets more views. Aki TV gets more views than me. Dante's Boxing Nation gets more views than me. Several people get more views than me. I just am in, somewhere close. I'm in the range of people that are making those numbers, right? So, but I'm not the biggest. I don't think, quite honestly, I'm in the top 10. I would be surprised if I'm in the top 10, right? Yeah, that fucking clown, whatever. Yeah, that clown does a lot of whatever. No, I'm team serious people. No, serious people, not him. No. I mean people that are serious. All right, there are channels that are just fucking comedy shows that are just fucking jokes. I don't care about that shit. I'm talking about people that are really covering boxing news, that are really seeking to change the system of boxing. For some fucking reason, niggas don't like me, and I know what the reason is. It ain't no reason at all. I can be a jackass, but whatever. A lot of people don't like me. It is what it is. But I'm not going to fucking just diss and say that these dudes ain't what they are. Their numbers are bigger than my numbers. And if I do 1.8 million views in a month and Boxing Scene does 7, do the math. We're blowing away Boxing Scene. It's not close because you can research the number of hits that Boxing Scene gets. I do believe not this year, but last year, I think they do like 7 million hits a month. They do like 7 million hits a month on their channel. If I do 1.7 and I'm number 10, right? Multiply me times 10, that's 18 million. At 18 million, last time I checked, that's twice the size of Boxing Scene. And Boxing Scene's got like 30 writers. And I'm only talking about 5 guys. No, it's bigger than Boxing Scene. Way bigger than Boxing Scene. 3 times. Any writer, at least, if they got 30 writers, somebody do the math on, let's say they got 10 writers. Let's give the same number. 10 writers for Boxing Scene that they pay, by the way, but that's not important. 7 writers get 7 million. That's 1 million. If 10 writers got 7 million, how many is that per writer? If you average it out. Let's do the calculator on these bums. Because they're frauds, I'm telling you, dude. Numerically, these guys try to push all kind of numbers that don't make sense. They're big, right? So 7 million divided by 10 equals 700,000 per for every week or every month. Is it month? Yeah, every month. So every month, every journalist, those 10 journalists would average 700,000. I do 1.7. That means I do 1 million higher than the average writer on Boxing Scene if they only had 10 writers. And they have way more than 10 writers. No. The difference could be that Boxing Scene gets a higher percentage of their ad dollars, but no, they're not generating the money that these YouTube channels are. That's a marketing thing. Fuck out of here, dog. Get the fuck out of here, dog. I mean, they're not bigger than me. Like, Jake Donovan, no disrespect, but you don't get as many viewers as me. And that's just the fucking statistics. So that's why niggas get pissed at me. You don't see Ishay Smith dissing you. Ishay Smith is dissing me. I never heard Billy Joe Saunders troll them. He trolled me. Terrence Crawford don't want to punch you in the mouth. He want to punch Blue Blood in the mouth. So how are you all that big? And the reason that I say this is not saying that I'm big because I'm not. I am not Max Kellerman. I am not Stephen A. Smith. ESPN is an entirely different scenario. ESPN is way bigger than me, obviously. But not their boxing writers. Their boxing writers are some after fucking thought. Their boxing writers are an afterthought. I'm telling you. They're all trying to come to YouTube. They talk shit, but they're all trying to do what I'm doing. Like, I'm sitting there watching you, and I'm like, you talking shit about me when you're trying to be me? How the fuck does that work? I got more fun. What are you talking about? You're big and I'm little? No, nigga, you're little and I'm little too. I'm little, you're little. That's it. You're not big. It's like, I'm not big. You're not big. You see what I mean? I'm not saying I'm big. I'm not. I'm just pointing out that you're small. So shut up and stop acting. Stop acting like you some fucking superstars that can walk around and snub your nose at people. Nigga, I give autographs, dog. You kidding me? I not like sign my picture. Nigga, but you see Black Fight Fan TV walk around in a fight. Black Fight Fan TV walks around like at a fight like this. He walks around and people stop him and say, big man, doo-doo-doo, blah, blah, blah. Let me take a picture. That's what they do to Black Fight Fan at boxing matches. But somehow you're big? No. What you're doing is you're not servicing your community. You're not servicing their needs, and they're ignoring you. And if you want them to pay attention to you, tell them the truth. Chris Mannix is not some big superstar. He is a pencil jockey that has a job at DAZN. He is a pencil jockey that indirectly works for Eddie Hearn. That's what you are. You ain't no boxing aficionado. You ain't no superstar. Stephen A. Smith is a fucking superstar because he is entertaining. And he has people that love him and people that hate him. And if Stephen A. Smith decided to leave ESPN, the whole month, stop, Stephen A. Stop, Stephen A. How much you want? I want $150 million. Well, Stephen A., will you take that over 10 years? I'll take it over 10 years. I'll take it over 10 years. That is the dude. Him. Okay? That dude is big at what we're doing. If you call me doing that. No, I'm little, dude. I'm little. Okay? And I'm not fooling myself. I'm little. As soon as let me tell you something, dog. As soon as you think you big and you not, you are in fucking trouble. I would rather be big and not know it than be little and think I'm big and have somebody walk and step dead on my fucking head. No, thank you. I am not interested in that shit. Not interested in it at all. Okay? So what I will do is I will try to tread carefully in my realm. And when I walk too close to getting outside my realm, I do a Michael Jackson and I moonwalk my black ass back to where I belong. Because that's what you got to do in this world. Okay? And you can like it or you can lump it. I am not big. They can take me away. And there's executives at Google that can end me today. Oh, I don't like you. Delete. How the fuck am I a star? Begging y'all to go to Instagram so I can get some type of balance. But let's be clear. I work for Google. Okay? I work for Google. Google owns this. Google sets the rules. I follow Google's rules. Everybody got a boss. All this, I'm the alpha. I'm the alpha and I will do what it. No. The ultimate, you know who the ultimate alpha male is? In a circumstance? The one can put you behind some bars. Like right now, Fannon, do you get recognized a lot when you go outside? I never go outside, so I wouldn't know. No, because where I go, there's no people. I ain't fucking around, dog. I don't like people, dog. I ain't like, I go to boxing matches by myself, and I sit in a chair by myself, and I don't talk to anybody, but maybe if I need if I want to get a beer or a drink or something like that, I may say hey. But when I'm ringside for them fights, I'm there by myself wanting to watch a boxing match. And I do not talk to fighters. I don't have a camera other than to say to prove that Terrence was there. I'm not asking him for interviews. I'm not doing none of that shit. I paid my motherfucking money to see this dude punch this dude in the face, and I'm watching every fucking minute of it. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching every fucking minute of it. And by the way, to the young man, oh my God, I can't believe this. I messed it up. Look, man, we're going to have not an amateur boxer, excuse me. A young and up-and-coming superstar is going to be coming on the channel soon. I'm really, really excited about his dad reached out to me. Really excited about this fighter. I'm not going to give you the name because I need to reach out and we're going to organize it, but we're going to make sure that before this young man comes here, that you will know who he is, that you will see who he is. You'll see what he's capable of on my Instagram. We're going to make sure you see who he is and know when he's coming, because it's probably not going to be a full interview, but it's going to be with him and his dad, or his dad. I hope just his dad, or whatever. But we got to work out the details. I think you're going to really, really like it. Southern T Boxing said, I seen you in Dallas at the Spence fight. That's what's up, man. Yeah, and I was by my damn self, dog. Man, my wife wanted my wife to go. My wife was like, nah, baby, I'll see you when you get back. So, all right, I'm by myself. Roy H said, that's real spit. Stay in your lane and realize when you go too far, then moonwalk your ass back where you're supposed to be. Hell yeah. Hell yes. Dog, let me tell you a story, dog. True story about that same principle. Give me a one if I can give you a personal story again, if you don't mind. I know sometimes y'all just boxing. But this is why, young men, this is important for you to understand. If you think you alpha, man, you better be. You know what happens to a beta that thinks he's an alpha? When he runs into an alpha, he dies. Let me repeat that. When a beta male that thinks he's an alpha, it's not thinks he is an alpha. Let me correct the stupidity, because I'm using it like not right. Let me give it to you in the most correct sense. When a beta male aspires to become the alpha male and he loses, he dies or he's exiled. Right? And then again, the alpha will have another beta, but usually two. See, here's the problem with how alphas usually die. Alphas usually die like this. When two betas or wandering males decide that they will partner to kill him. Most alphas die by conspiracy and not by straight battle. Because what will happen is this, and I will put this into boxing terms and personal terms for you. You have two young males that get thrown out into the wilderness by their father, right? Because they was eating too much and talking too much shit. So their daddy says, it is time to leave or die. Which is it for you, son? And if the young son thinks that he's going to stay, the daddy kills him and looks at his dead carcass as he eats it and says, I'm going to make another one of you, son. Dummy. Should have took your ass and left. I gave you the chance. So that type of young man that wants to be the alpha dies. Now, what happens to his brothers that saw that young man, that cocky, strong man, die and get eaten by his own daddy? They run for the motherfucking hills. Woo, 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 woo. Nope, nope, nope. And they starve and they figure out how to hunt. They figure out how to kill. And all of a sudden, they're feeling real strong. They're like, yeah, we're tearing down these wild buffaloes. We're just running this bitch. But we got a problem. Ain't no pussy around here. I need some. So what we going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to go find somebody else's to take. And then they're either going to repeat that cycle or not. And then eventually one of them will succeed and then they will become the leader. That is what it is. Buck broken, stop. Just stop. More corny shit, block user. Dude, stop. Didn't nobody ever break me. I learned and taught myself. The only person that broke this buck is this buck. I put away childish things when I realized that they were doing me more harm than anybody else. But you keep learning and keep waiting and see how that works out for you. But this is alpha male shit. I used to work for my pops. And I promise you that I am talented. Okay? I am very talented. And I am very good at what my job was. Because he had been teaching me to do that job since I was 5 years old. He did not do it purposely. He just did it because I worshiped him and I was always at his feet. So everything that he told everybody that worked for him, I learned by osmosis, right? And also other things that I learned, like my brother, I say, could you teach me how to fight? And because my brother is like a 2nd degree black belt, and he say, I'll teach you to fight, but you got to read this DOS book. Because he didn't want to teach me, right? So I looked at the DOS book. If you remember DOS, it's an operating system that came out in the early 1980s. I had to read a DOS book to get this dude to teach me how to fight, right? So he never taught me how to fight, but I did wind up going to Hapkido and becoming a trained fighter. But I was fighting in the streets several times a week. But I digress. Over the years, I went to work and we had a company that we had since sold, and it was a medium-sized business in IT. And I was managing somewhere around 100 employees at the time. And I was making for them several million dollars a month in revenue. So I think I'm the king of the world. I've made it. I'm grown. I've got this customer, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I thought that I was the alpha. I was not. Hence the first part of my story, where I was crying for joy for a $20,000 check because it had been so long since I had one. Because the Negro grabbed me by the scruff of my neck and threw me out in the street and said, I will find somebody else to do this for me because you think you running something and you're not. So what I had was called a pencil whipping ass whooping that lasted for several years until I could dig myself out of it. Okay? That is what I mean by the alpha male talk is dumb shit. Okay? Stop. When Terrence Crawford tells Errol Spence Jr. that he's taking 50 or the fight ain't happening, that's all he can do. But he can't make Errol do shit because he ain't got no power over Errol. The only person that can cause Errol and Terrence Crawford problems are the president of Fox and the president of ESPN if they decide that they're going to shut the fucking programs down and they're not going to air them. Because then they got to go and run around and figure out how they're going to get people to show up into into auditoriums and pay them for what they do hand to mouth from the ticket sales. Okay? Never outshine the master. No, never talk shit to somebody bigger than you, dog. And that's why you should never think you're bigger than you are. Underestimate yourself and overachieve. Underestimate yourself and overachieve. I'm telling you, if somebody gets a whiff of your arrogance and they are in the position, there's something called the Fortune magazine curse. Hey, hit one if you've ever heard of the Fortune magazine curse. I'm loving it. I'm not talking boxing today because I want these trolls to leave me alone. Hey, let me know in the chat. We got to let me know if you've ever heard of the Forbes magazine curse. I know y'all have not, because you got to be a special type of person to fall victim to the Forbes magazine curse. Come on, man. Somebody tell me no. I want to know if this is, if you've heard of it. You've heard of the Forbes magazine curse. Good. You're the man. Nope. Let me tell you what the Forbes magazine curse is. The Forbes magazine curse is when the richest white men in the world beat the shit out of you because you made the cover of Fortune magazine and they didn't. That's called the Fortune magazine curse. Several people have fell victim to that. They are black men that make the cover of Fortune magazine. Now, see, you all think of Fortune magazine is some real magazine that is giving you real good information and all that. That's not what it is. Fortune magazine is where very, 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 very powerful men tell you exactly how powerful they are. If you are on a list, if one is on a list ahead of the other, they're fighting and competing with one another. You may not realize or appreciate that there is true competition that takes place between Elon Musk. What's Elon Musk? What's the guy's name from Yahoo? Him. What's his name? God, the richest guy in the world, right? The guy that owns Berkshire Hathaway. The guy that owns them, the billions, Jeff Bezos. They compete with each other. They compete with who's the richest, who is the biggest philanthropist, who's doing the best for the world, who are the masters of the universe. That is why people like Bill Gates sits and says, I don't even take an income. They only pay me $1 a year. Why? I gave all my money that I was going to give away. Why would somebody, think about this, why would somebody give away $5 billion if they did not immediately know immediately that they were going to turn around and get that shit right back? Okay? Because they do. Ain't nobody that ever gave away $1 billion ever gone broke. They've only got richer, and that is not a coincidence, my friend. So, like I said, if you make the cover of Fortune magazine and you got $100 million company and a guy that's got a $10.5 billion company is aspiring to make it and he knows he will never make it and you make it, they will ruin you, homie. They will ruin you. They will make sure that they show you when you walk in that room thinking, I made the cover of Fortune. Name on the cover of Fortune. When they said that shit, I was like, what? Did this dude said name on the cover of Fortune? I was like, man, you must want to die. Put your name on the cover of Fortune. Anyway, that's the Fortune magazine curse. And if you don't believe me, look at every black person that has ever made the cover of it and then pay attention to their next 10 years and see how that went from them. That's called never outshine your master. And that's why Denzel Washington was not making out with Julia Roberts in that movie. Anyway, much love for everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. This show has been so fun. But now make sure you go over to over to my man 78 Sports TV and check out his live stream. He said, yeah, the Fortune 500, always heard of it, but never dug into it. Yeah, dog, it's the billionaires list. And you stay away from them dudes, dog, because they're just on another plane of type of human being, okay? Because they're just different types of human beings, man. Like, I like dudes that got money. I don't want to be around people that got billions. That shit is just way too much craziness. But anyway, much love in the chat, much love in the super chat. And with that, I'm out. Peace.